Someone very rightly said, food transcends spoken languages. It crosses cultural barriers and bridges oceans. My guest today is someone who I met way back in 2004 while we were working for the very first Japanese restaurant in India called Sakura. While I used to take care of the operations, my friend used to take care of the kitchen. Our love and passion for Japanese cuisine has brought us back together after 20 years. On this show, we'll be discussing more about the Japanese cuisine, its current landscape in India, and the huge potential it has in the Indian market. It's my pleasure to introduce my friend and chef Vikram Kadri. Chef Vikram Kadri, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, for all my guests, Chef Vikram Khatri has worked with one of the best hospitality chains in India for the past 20-25 years and has headed teams of more than 100 chefs while opening around 10 restaurants across the country. And it's a pleasure to have him here on the show today. So, Chef, how have you been? It's been 20 years since we last met. We're both working at Sakura. So tell us about how's the journey been since the last 20 years? What have you been up to?
Journey, I can't say no complaints ever. It's always in and around food as at Sakura. So I think 2007 is where I decided to move on. Swing by to Sydney, saw what Western world is all about. I saw and got very excited to see, how Japanese food, Asian food was flourishing up there. It was kind of opening up the Pandora for me. 2008, I met the restaurateur of the king of restaurants, actually, I must say, Mr. A.D. Singh. So spent almost 15 years with him, visited Pan India, did a couple of restaurants, but then the first one which came to the glory was in 2008 itself. It was I, as in Japanese I. Stands for love in Japanese, at Select City Walk, next to Select City Walk in Saket District Center. And it was fantastic.
Right. It was quite a famous restaurant during those times, and I think how was the experience working?
Oh, it was very different. Sakura, we were kids, I must say. So, I was a fantastic journey, I must say. It was like Zuma, the very popular Japanese restaurant, the chain of restaurants from UK. Right. It was on that, inspired from Zuma, on those terms, on those lines, and it was fantastic. It was one of the best Japanese restaurants, space-wise, aura-wise, cuisine-wise. A lot of chefs coming in together, working. We had almost close to 100 staff. Wow. In a standalone restaurant with that kind of a setup. I must say the canvas and magnitude was really, really fun.
How long were you there with this I restaurant, working with Mr. A.D. Singh? How long was that?
2012, we decided to move on, wanted to relocate. And that's when I moved and turned as Guppy. In a Guppy Avatar, which is still there, running for past 10 years now at Lodi Colony. It's a beautiful boutique, small contemporary Japanese restaurant. And then moving on in 2021, I decided to move on. And that's when Marriott Hotels came calling. 2020, I joined Marriott, West End, Pune.
Okay, you moved your bag and baggage from Delhi.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay,
so that must have been a tough decision for you.
Yes, indeed. But then it was all fun, no complaints ever. Saw the city, vibrant, fantastic city. Got opportunity to open 6 restaurants there. In fact, 5 restaurants there in West End, Pune as well, including Indian for a change. And Asian for sure, the coffee shop. So it was all around food, fun, meeting like-minded people and creating good dishes.
Awesome. So you've traveled across India, done various restaurants. That's good to hear. So after Westin, now you've decided to come back to your roots, I guess, Delhi NCR.
Yes.
You've been here for a while, I heard.
That's right. So Delhi wala. You can't take out Delhi, Delhi and NCR out of a
Right,
Delhi
right,
kid or a Delhi boy.
right.
And also now family wanted to relocate back.
Okay.
So that's when I decided. So it's been almost 3 years, slightly more than 3 years in Pune. I'm in that last leg of relocation now. So whole idea is to kind of do some exciting stuff again here in Delhi NCR.
Well,
So-
I'm very personally happy to have you here, and because you were here, we could do this show, and I look forward to collaborating more with you on this Japanese cuisine.
Why not? Whenever food, oishi food, always there.
So, chef, last 20 years, I've been in Delhi NCR, traveled to Japan as well. I've seen so many restaurants mushrooming up, especially around the Gurgaon area and the Delhi area as well. I wanted to understand what's your take on the current Japanese cuisine scene in India, the current landscape, and how do you see the future potential of Japanese cuisine in India?
That is something which, in fact, I'm always keen of to have a bird eye view. And as you said, it's almost more than 25 years I'm cooking. And Japanese, as we said, it's very close to our heart. I've seen that the scale of Japanese food growing from longitude to latitude, from every breadth, any dimension, I must say. And as you have rightly said, the Japanese cuisine and the restaurants are kind of mushrooming up. Though there are enough, but there is a huge potential for more to come in. And also, while we are talking on this part, for Indians to know more about Japanese food and culture, I think that's a bit of a walk which I feel is much required.
Absolutely. I think people like us who are obviously traveled and we know about Japanese cuisine, it's up to us to sort of take that knowledge forward. And as you rightly said, a lot of work has to go, into spreading that knowledge. A lot has to be done, but the potential, you rightly said, is huge. So, chef, without further ado, let's start our masterclass today. I'm absolutely excited for you to make some mouth-watering dishes for us. So what is that you got in store for us today, chef?
So today we'll be doing 3 dishes. Let's do some onigiri. I've tried to keep it simple and sweet. Plum is in season. So ume onigiri. Let's do some kappamaki and miso soup.
So all 3 are vegetarians, right, chef?
Yes.
Any particular reason why you chose vegetarian dishes? You wanted to break a jinx.
That's the reason. I thought maybe because that's a common misconception that Japanese food is all about non-veg or seafood. But my vegetarian friends will not miss Japanese food while they are traveling to Japan. Even the cuisine offers a lot of vegetarian options. So that's the reason I thought maybe why not to keep all 3 vegetarian dishes
Absolutely.
simple and sweet.
So it's a big myth, that Japanese cuisine is all about non-vegetarian dishes. But today we're going to break that myth by preparing 3 nice, very humble, as the chef said, vegetarian dishes for you all. So chef, shall we get to it?
Let's rock and roll.
So chef, so we'll be starting with onigiri today, and I think it's a very light snack eaten in Japan almost every day by adults and kids. So please tell us what ingredients, and let's start cooking.
As you see, it's a very tedious recipe to do, and we need a lot of ingredients.
I can see that.
So I was joking. All you need is just a couple of ingredients, primarily rice and nori, and your filling can be anything.
Okay.
In this context, what we are using is my favorite plum, umeboshi. All we need to do is take a little bit of rice on this side.
And this is the sticky sushi rice.
That's right.
We can make at home.
This is the sticky sushi rice, but it will convert sushi till the time you throw in dressing.
Of course.
Right now, this is like a shiro gohan. It's just steamed rice. And since there's no dressing in it, so it's just plain simple rice. So what I'm doing now is I've just moistened my hands with a touch of water.
Yep.
It already has salt so that while you are making it, this also seasoned your rice. And what I'm doing is I'm not pressing it too much. And while I've taken the rice, just kind of in the center, just press it so that there is a small space in between. Now, these plum comes with the seed, so make sure that we remove it. I've taken enough amount of it. Just cover it up from the top. And now what I'm doing is just pressing it gently.
Right.
And while you're pressing
it gets that nice triangular sort of a shape
that's
which
right.
onigiri
And in
has.
case you feel that the hands are getting stick, just take touch more water. This is what is because of starch from the rice. So
it's
of what-
quite simple, and
Yeah,
I guess
very
any
simple.
household can make this, and you don't have to use your chopsticks. Very portable as well.
very
You
portable,
can take it out.
and it's like the super easy mama snack for the kids in
Exactly, for the
Japan, right?
kids. You come
Yeah.
back from school, you come back in the
Oh,
evening,
yes.
just have one onigiri. And
Yep.
that's actually true. They do that in Japan quite often.
And there you go. I have a leaf. Let's put it here.
Wow, this looks beautiful. So this is the umeboshi onigiri, another very portable form of Japanese food, absolutely vegetarian, so everyone can enjoy. Thank you, chef, for this.
Welcome.
So, chef, from the humble onigiri, we have a expansive layout. I can see some wasabi, some nori, some cucumber. So, what do you have in store for us for the next dish?
I think you have already declared what ingredients are coming in, right? So explanation was bang on. What we are doing is a humble kappamaki. I'm calling it humble because again it's sushi, the most straightforward sushi from any sushi bar. It's kappamaki or simple curry or cucumber. I've just shred them up. Some nori sheet. Now this nori sheet has got two sides.
Right.
So what I've done is the rough side, I've just kept it facing myself, and the smooth side is actually sitting on the
outside.
On the outside, yeah. So that will be the covering. So the rough part we will be rolling it inside along with rice. We have got some wasabi, we've got some gari, we've got some shoyu, and some water to damp our hands. Also, because it's a straightforward roll, I'll be throwing in some tossed sesame seeds inside. So it will bring in some nuttiness and kind of spike up the flavors.
Right. And for the guests, all these ingredients are readily available anywhere. So again, if you want to give it a try at home, you can do that. It's not that complicated, and obviously chef is going to show us how it's done. So yeah, chef.
So what we have done is we have taken the same steamed rice.
Right.
We have thrown in some sushi dressing in it. Now that sushi dressing is easily available on all the shelves where you might be getting your Japanese
That's
groceries.
the sushi rice vinegar dressing.
That's right.
Okay.
The sushi rice vinegar dressing.
Okay. So we just mix a little bit of it in the rice.
So there is a recipe to it, but then yeah, in case if you're making it home, no specific rules there. With a cup, maybe you can just take the ladle,
Right.
spread it over hot rice, fan it up to cool it down, and this is what you will get. And now, as I said, the rough side is up and the smooth side is down. And what I'm doing is I'm just simply spreading it up, right? You can take bit of water in case your hands are sticking in. There you go. I've taken some bit of more rice, and then you clap to shake off the excess water. And what I'm doing here is just spreading it up, right? You know how to play piano, right?
No, actually
You
I
have-
don't, but
you-
I can learn while watching this.
Yeah, no. So I'm joking. So
So you leave
just-
a little bit of
that's right.
space
So
over
that
there,
so
right?
that while we roll, it sticks together.
Perfect.
And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of spreading it. Earlier I used to say to take a deep breath.
He's making it look very easy, but yeah, I mean it's not that difficult as well. But yeah, it takes some sort of practice.
You know what is this, right?
Oh my
I
God,
can't
that's
make
the
sushi without
dreaded
this.
wasabi.
Yeah, wasabi. But then yeah, so whole idea of using wasabi normally is while you're using fish, which is raw, just to kind of have bit of,
So this can be as per the person's sort of taste.
Absolutely.
To put it
I
or
love
not to put
wasabi.
it, right?
While you are in Delhi NCR.
I like to put it here, but not while having it here. It's just too pungent for me.
All right. No, so while you are in Delhi NCR, I always say this is something which opens up your sinuses. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I've just sprinkled
So it
some.
has got medicinal values as well.
Oh, 100%, 100%, yes. Sesame seeds, my favorite. And what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of puncturing it up. The cucumber.
So you're creating that small space for the
Yeah,
cucumber
so that
to
a
go in.
small niche inside so that cucumber can fit in well. I don't know. You like cucumber?
Yeah, not bad, I guess.
There you go. Some more. And now, just lift it up. Hold it. Hold. So what I'm doing is I'm holding my mat. It goes here. And now you can see that this is the clean part, what you see.
Which was left out.
Which
while
was
you were
left out,
filling the
yeah.
rice.
So here I've just taken a pause, just putting my rice in so that it seals right, and lifting it up and rolling it back. There you go.
Wow, looks beautiful. Absolute art making Japanese cuisine,
There, just press it a bit. And now.
So this is the hoso maki. Hoso is basically the thin ones. Then you have the futo, which are the bigger ones. And uramaki
Oh,
is
yes.
also there.
Thanks for bringing it up. This is like the humble futomaki, in fact, the hosomaki. And the uramaki is something which normally you see in most of the restaurants using, like all your California rolls and all your fancy rolls are made out of it.
So basically, uramaki is something where the nori, the seaweed paper, is done upside down and you have the rice on the outside. Wow, this looks beautiful, chef.
There you go. And this can be done like this.
Absolutely fantastic. It's such an art. It's such an easy dish to make. Everything is so readily available and chef has done it so nicely like an artist, at his work. So again, thank you so much, chef, for making this.
Thank you so much. You can enjoy your sushi.
Will do, will do. The beautiful artistic kappamaki. What's the third and the final dish we have today?
Final dish is nothing but everything because it sums up the entire Japanese food. It's the miso shiru or the miso soup. I've got some array of ingredients in front. These are the toppings which we'll be throwing in. Whole idea of doing this kind of a setup is to tell us that miso soup is something which is not very complex, wherein you find in a lot of cuisines. I've got a hot bowl of water. I've just thrown in some bit of vegetables so that it's like a vegetable stock. I've got a tea strainer and a chopstick. And what I'm doing next is just take miso paste. There you go. And what I'm doing here is just mixing it in a bowl of stock.
So that gives its sort of texture and color as well, right?
Yes,
the miso paste.
The miso paste. And you can see this has got entirely dissolved. So what we have got here is...
And once again, all these ingredients are readily available.
Oh, yes. And in fact...
across the markets.
Absolutely. In fact, you can also name whatever ingredients are in front. We've got some tofu, which I've cut it into dice or cubes.
So tofu is again, an Indian form of paneer as well, made with soya bean.
Yes, it's a soya bean curd, actually. And what we have taken here is the silken form. Normally you can get a cotton or you can get a super silky one, but we have taken the silky tofu or the silken tofu. And I've got two bowls. What I'm doing here is just putting these tofu cubes in the bowl. I've got some chopped spring onion. Some more. And wakame seaweed. Now this is like the magic seaweed. It is different than the nori. Why I'm calling it magic? Because this comes in dried form. You just have to soak it in water and it kind of blossoms back. It gives the sea flavor, not the non-veg sea flavor, but the sea flavor and the texture. I just love this. You can in fact use this for your salads or some gravies, wherever you're doing.
I mean, that's the beauty of Japanese food. It's so seasonal. It has so many ingredients, so whatever the season is, you can use those sort of ingredients in your food. And again, I guess, breaking the myth that it's not all non-veg. And today is a testament to that, chef. So we just have to put the broth which you've made into our bowls and the miso shiru is ready?
Yeah, the hard work back to you.
Absolutely.
So you're doing the needful and I'm doing the tating.
No, that's absolutely wonderful. We have all the three dishes ready, chef. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to dig in. So again, thank you so much for preparing this and absolutely wonderful to see breaking the myth, especially, which I'm reiterating that it's not all about non-veg.
That's right.
So chef, Chef, thank you so much for taking out time today and preparing these 3 wonderful Japanese dishes. Absolute masterclass. And I'm sure our audience would also be sort of looking forward to tasting their next Japanese cuisine. Needless to say, Chef, a lot more needs to be done in spreading the awareness about Japanese cuisine in India, but I think people like us need to collaborate more. It was a pleasure, at least after 20 years we met and we did this episode together. So again, thank you for, coming in. And how was your experience, Chef?
Oh, it was always fun when my favorite topic, my favorite subject and favorite food is all around. And more than anything else, meeting you after so long.
Thank you.
And talking about this whole journey. I think it was fun indeed.
Right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Chef, and look forward to many more collaborations.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Thank you.
You.